Welcome to the day when I face a fear and go out of my comfort zone. I am going to the Serpentario here in El Valle because we have snakes that live here. I've seen snakes and I just don't know which ones are dangerous, which ones are okay. So I'm going to get an education on the snakes. I think they have some other reptiles or other animals as well. I don't even know if I'm going in the right spot. I was in the right spot. You have to park and then walk down a dirt path and over this paved pathway, and then the Serpentario is on the right-hand side. But it does look like there's a way to get there from the other side, because obviously he has a car that he brings to the Serpentario. When I say he, I'm referring to Mario Orola, who founded the Serpentario as a conservation and research project to teach about the importance of preserving the wildlife here in El Valle and across Panama overall. They rescue and relocate over 25 animals a month. He has volunteers throughout the country, and it sounds like 24/7. If you have a wild animal that needs help, there'll be somebody in his network who can come to the rescue, or at least just even call and get information if you find an injured animal. He started a foundation called Tropical Biodiversity Panama. I think the goal is to expand the premises and obviously expand the work that they can do and the outreach. I was surprised to see the caimans and the turtles together. I would have thought that the caimans would have eaten them, but they eat mostly a diet of fish. And the caiman's predator is man. You can actually see them in Coronado. I mean, you can see them all throughout South and Central America. And the ones that he has at the center are either rehabilitated and released, or if they're injured, they have to stay there. Well, this little rascal's called a teira. It's in the weasel family. They can live up to 18 years. They're a forest dweller, and they travel alone, or in pairs, or maybe small groups of 3 or 4. Aren't they cute? Do you guys remember the nature shows? I grew up watching Mutual of Omaha, Wild Kingdom. Every week, I think it was on, and then there was like a Disney movie that would be on TV. There were 2 of these beautiful white hawks. This one had a wing that had been amputated. One of the most venomous snakes in Panama, and can be deadly, is the fer-de-lance, also known as equis. This is the markings. I was actually surprised at how small the snake was. I, for some reason, just figured it was going to be a huge, massive snake. So let's transition into talking with Mario Orola from the Serpentario.
Okay, this is one center for the conservation, but this is normal. The idea is for the people don't have a snake like a pets, you know. But in this place, it's normal when the people call when they have a snake near to the house. For example, we go take the animal, rescue the animal, and this animal bring here. If it's necessary, the animal maintain in captivity for a few months, and the one part from the investigation, take the animal and release in the jungle again.
Very good. So it's a lot of conservation effort here that you're doing.
Yep, exactly. It's one center for the conservation of wildlife. Not only snakes. The main animals we work in is more for the snakes, but we work for all the animals. For example, owls, birds, for example, mammals like sloths. People like many sloth, porcupine, for example, turtles and caiman. But it's most common working for the snakes.
So residents of El Valle can call you, can contact you if there's an animal, a wild animal that's hurt.
Yeah, exactly. Now we have one program for the 20 years, and the people understand. For example, this is necessary not kill the snakes. Yeah, it's necessary. For example, call the Mario, and the Mario go to the house, take the animals, and the animal is safe. The people is safe. No problem for nothing. And this animal is okay in the jungle, but this animal is necessary for the control of the species of the animals.
And do you do any education with the schools locally?
Yep, exactly. We have the program for the education in the school here in El Valle, primary, secondary, and they have, sometimes we move to the other part in the province, or the university, or for example, people come to other provinces here in Panama, for example, in Colon, Panama City, Chiriquí, different places. The idea for this project is education first, conservation, investigation, and rescue animals. It has four objectives.
And what started your interest in wild animals and reptiles?
Okay, I started for the many years ago. I worked in all my life and I live all my life here in El Valle. Are born in El Valle, and the idea is for the people understand in this time, many years more for the 20. If people understand all the animals poisonous, all the animals dangerous, all the animals necessary kill it. This is not true, but this is the idea of normal transmission for the children's all the generations. But now, in the last 20, 22 years, the people understand it's part for the environmental, it's part for the jungle. It's normal, for example, the people like coming for the live in El Valle, but they don't like the wild animal, for example, don't like the snakes, don't like, for example, scorpion, don't like the, nothing the animal, but the animals coming first. This is the house is necessary to live together for the both animals and the people.
That's a great message. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay, you're welcome.
You can tell he's very passionate about his work, and that has to be pretty challenging to sustain for over 20 years. Well, I think I came away with a better understanding of the snakes that are here in El Valle and in Panama, though I need to brush up on identifying a few more. I feel like I know what the Ekis looks like, and this one is a coral snake. There was one right by my foot when I first moved into my house, and I was out in the yard exploring. The grass was really long, it hadn't been cut in a while, and I felt something moving around, and it was a coral snake. This place reminded me so much of the Stanford Museum and Nature Center that my mom and I used to go to. I think the family went, but I remember most often going with my mom to look at the animals. And it was just a small little nature center that you'd walk around and you'd look at the otters, and they'd have reptiles and raccoons and deer and goats and ducks and geese. And I just loved being in that environment. So I was really happy to see a woman with her young daughter here at the Serpentario. I really applaud Mario's efforts for bringing this education to the children in the schools in El Valle and in Panama. Living here and exploring my yard and the trails reminds me of exploring the yard and the outside when I was a kid, looking at butterflies and bees and ants and weird insects. This little guy came out from taking a nap to bounce around. And these are some of the monkeys that you can see on the Monkey Island tours. I'm not sure why it rubs its butt on its food, but my cat rubs her butt on various things, mostly blankets. I don't know why she does that either. So here's a refresher. Coral snake, very venomous. Fertile ants, very venomous. You don't want to mess with these snakes. But if you do get bit, call Mario at the Serpentario because he has some anti-venom. Antivenom is kind of rare to find. It doesn't apparently last long, like in a refrigerator, so you can't really refrigerate antivenom. It's got to be consumed maybe rather quickly after creating it, harvesting it. I don't know what the right term is for it. In the video description, I put a link to Mario's YouTube channel, and I also found a helpful resource that listed all the different snakes that were found in Panama. And then I noticed they also had a category for spiders and also birds. So that might be something to check out if you're interested in knowing more about that. So that was pretty cool. There's actually a couple of snakes that I've had in my yard. One of them was poisonous or venomous. It's poisonous if you eat it. It's venomous if it bites you. And the other one I've seen in my yard is totally harmless. Hopefully like this dog is. All right, starting to rain. I'm gonna get to my car. And back home, I have my own little nature center full of birds and watching them in their own habitat, doing their unique things that they do, like these chacalacas, cleansing in the dirt or sand. I think that's how they clean their feathers. And then in my palm tree right out front here, a little bird decided to create a nest. Thank you so much for watching and commenting and liking and subscribing. I'll see you next time.